Welcome to the Diamond K Show. Of course, I am your host, Diamond K. This is your destination for unfiltered news, real talk, and cultural analysis. We got a loaded show today, so let's dive in.
Diamond K in the house. Oh my goodness.
We're going to be talking about the White House Correspondents Dinner debacle. Some folks are calling it fake. And we're going to break down what actually happened. Gas prices, of course, climbing again. We're going to compare where we are now versus 5 years ago. Updates on this Iran situation and where the ceasefire stands. We've got election dates that you need to know about here in Maryland, plus Spirit Airlines getting a government bailout. Is that smart policy or just corporate welfare? And in entertainment, Michael Jackson's new movie is making a lot of money. But of course, like everything, not everybody is happy, especially who was left out and what was not discussed. We will also get into Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson rumors, some sports headlines, and to close it out, I have the music video of the day. Let's get into it.
Diamond K in the house. Oh my goodness.
Let's start with the biggest story, and that is the shooting at the White House Correspondents Dinner. There's been a lot of misinformation online. Some people have been saying that it was staged, that it was fake, that it was some type of political theater. Some people are acting like Trump was actually in danger. Now, of course, let's be clear. There is no credible evidence that it was staged. However, it looks very, very suspicious. Let me say that for a lot of reasons. Now, a suspect identified as a 31-year-old man, reportedly armed with multiple weapons, including a shotgun and a handgun. It does not appear, it's not known whether he actually fired the weapons that he had, whether he actually was the one that let off shots. Secret Service quickly responded. An agent was hit. We don't know whether it was air quotes friendly fire. I always thought that description was interesting and weird. Friendly fire? But anyway, the agent was hit, protected by a vest, no fatalities. Now, here's where things get a little interesting. The suspect allegedly got closer than he should have. That's clear and obvious. But that raises serious questions about security gaps. Of course, Trump infamously said that he only hires the best and the brightest. We absolutely know that is not true. Now, how does someone with that level of weaponry even get within striking distance of an event like that? That's what people should be focused on. And we're in a time where every major event is going to get questioned immediately. And there is some danger in that. When everything is called fake, real threats stop being taken seriously. And Donald Trump is the one who really ushered in this whole fake this, fake that, fake news, psyops, all those type of words in the public, really promoting them. And that is the problem. A lot of times people have taken these instances, when we have a shooting instance, right, at a school, something like that, Republicans say, oh, this is not the time to talk about safety. But when this event happened, Republicans have been talking about, and Donald Trump himself, talking about the ballroom. First, people online have been saying, because I've been very critical of the ballroom. People online saying, oh, the ballroom, what are you worried about it for? It's being paid with donor money. It's not coming out of our pockets, blah, blah, blah. But now, in the wake of this incident, you have Donald Trump and his lackeys saying that now the American people should be paying tax dollars should be paying for this ballroom. And even though the Correspondents Dinner usually holds 2,000, 2,500 people, this ballroom that has been proposed by the president only holds 1,000 people. And so they're trying to say it should be there, but the Correspondents Dinner should not be at the White House. That's for sure. And the structure that Trump has proposed to build wouldn't even contain the Correspondents Dinner unless you downsized it. And wasn't the whole point of this ballroom that we need this big ballroom that can hold all these people? But if you try to have events there that are too small, you're completely defeating the purpose. And then if you want to talk about security, a lot of the security instances and situations that we've had have really shown some lapses in security. So I really don't know, but definitely let me know your thoughts. Comment section, of course, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you get your social media X, right? At the Diamond K Show, DJ Diamond K at gmail.com. And if you want more breakdowns every single day, subscribe to my free Substack. It's called the Diamond K Report. Link is in the descriptions, or you can just simply go djdiamondk.substack.com. Make sure you're locked in on youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. Don't just watch, make sure you subscribe. I want to shift gears for a minute. Let's talk money, because everyone feels this one. Gas prices are up again. Right now, we are looking at roughly $3.50 to $4 a gallon, depending on where you are. Now let's rewind 5 years. Back around 2021, gas was sitting closer to $2.25, maybe $2.50. That's a big difference. So what is driving it? What is causing the rise in gas prices? Inflation, global instability, oil supply, and yes, politics. Everybody wants to assign blame, but the reality is it's a combination of factors. And the average person, you're paying for it. Now, speaking of money, shifting gears, Spirit Airlines, the government stepping in with a bailout. Here's the question. Is this really about protecting jobs or protecting a failing business? This failing business, on one hand, I mean, you don't want thousands and thousands of people losing employment. That's not something that we want to happen. But on the other hand, why should taxpayers keep rescuing corporations who drive their businesses into the ground? Because let's be real, when companies win, they keep the profits. When they lose, they want public help. But at the same time, when we talk about the actual public getting help, then these are the same people that want to complain about, air quotes, handouts. We can debate it all day. DJ Diamond K at gmail.com. On all social media, I am at The Diamond K Show. Of course, you can listen live weekdays, 6 p.m. on firebroadcasting.com. Anywhere you get your podcast, just type in The Diamond K Show. You miss an episode, catch it on demand, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere that you get your shows, your programs, just search The Diamond K Show. So let's talk international, right? Let's talk Iran. The ceasefire talks happened and then they didn't happen. I don't know. I want to be clear. This situation is fragile. This is not a problem solved moment. This is a pause. Tensions are high, and anything could spark things back up. And when we really talk about global conflict, you already know what comes next, especially in this region. Oil prices, gas prices, economic impact, it all connects. And I want to bring it home to Maryland voters. Primary election day, June the 23rd, 2026. Early voting, June 11th through June 18th. Listen, local elections matter. These are the decisions that affect your schools, your streets, your taxes. People love to complain. People complain all day, but then they don't show up to vote. You can't do both. If you want real change, you have to participate. And like I said, we need folks to get out and vote in the primaries, primary election day here in Maryland, June the 23rd, 2026, early voting, June the 11th through June the 18th. Get out and make sure that you vote. I mean, you gotta participate. Today, in this day and age, voting matters. And I always say this: if voting wasn't important, they would not be trying to take it away from you. Now, make sure you subscribe to the Diamond K Report on Substack. Of course, that is djdiamondk.substack.com. It's absolutely free. Make sure you follow and share episodes of the Diamond K Show. If you want to promote your business, djdiamondk@gmail.com. Let's talk some entertainment. The Michael Jackson 2026 movie is doing big numbers at the box office. Strong opening weekend, but the conversation, that's where the controversy comes in. A lot of fans are upset about the exclusion of Janet Jackson, minimizing Diana Ross. I don't think Janet wanted anything to do with this. And we got to be real. It's hard to tell Michael Jackson's story without acknowledging the people who shaped it. Janet Jackson is not some footnote. Diana Ross is not optional. And I find it interesting that, well, let's say you're doing a story on Abraham Lincoln, right? But the family or John Wilkes Booth says, we don't want John Wilkes Booth in this movie at all, right? I mean, kind of crazy, right? We're telling a historical story. And John Wilkes Booth was the assassin of Abraham Lincoln. But if you have a movie about Abraham Lincoln, but you stop it before the assassination, which I suppose you could do, this movie stops somewhere in the 80s, and there are talks of a part 2. Very interesting. A lot of stuff going on. Have you seen the movie yet? I've been up in the air. I mean, I love watching social media and seeing folks dress up like Michael Jackson and going and enjoying the movie. Of course, it's going to come on digital at some point in time. I'm still deciding whether I'm going to actually go see it in the movie or whether I'm going to wait till it comes on digital. I don't know. But the movie has been successful financially. And the real question is about accuracy, the selective inclusion or I guess, exclusion of certain things. Of course, the controversy with kids and the touching and all that kind of stuff, that is not included. And, you know, some people just don't believe that. Some people do. But we got to understand, just like the Biggie movie or Tupac's movie or some of the things that we saw about Salt and Pepper or the docuseries about New Edition or TLC, it is a movie. And when folks are involved with telling their own story or family members, they kind of want to tell things a certain way. But we're going to see. The movie's going to make a lot of money. It's already made a lot of money. Part 2 in the works. I remember seeing the Jacksons way back in the day when I was a kid, the Jacksons movie. And now we have Michael. I think that his nephew has done an excellent job channeling Michael Jackson. So I definitely give an E for effort there. I guess the ultimate question will be, how good is the script? Let me know if you've had a chance to check out this movie. Did you like it? I want to know. So switching gears for a minute, I want to talk about Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. Rumors of a breakup. But there's a bigger story that I want to get into because you see a lot of folks, it don't matter who Meg is messing with. We got this going on, that going on. And that's true. We have a lot of things going on in the world. But I think that we have a pattern here, right? Couple of things. So when these rappers are dating these athletes, these are young athletes with a lot of money and a lot of options. And so, you know, whether it's Stephon Diggs, whether it's Klay Thompson or somebody else, all of these rappers, all these women are looking for their version They're looking for their version of Russell Wilson, right? They're looking for this good athlete who's a family man. And I would really venture to say that Russell Wilson is in the minority. So all these women are trying to find that gem, that style of man. But then on the other hand, a lot of women say, oh, I don't want a good guy like that. He's boring. And they end up with these folks like Stephon Diggs, like Klay Thompson. Maybe they got a lot of girls. There's a lot of options, a lot of women coming at them, and they make moves, right? But a relationship is a relationship, right? There's rumors of this breakup. Meg has been posting, not saying it directly, but she's hinting at it. And in today's world, something on social media is an announcement. And if it's posted, it's intentional. High profile relationships are tough. And so you got athletes with their schedules, entertainers with their schedules, the constant attention. When you post on any social media about your relationship, right? This is who I'm dating, da 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 da. You can rest assured that the DMs are going to go up. Folks are going to try this person. They're going to try to shoot their shot even more than they normally would. They're going to see him out at events, out at games, concerts, what have you, and they're going to be more attention given to that person. So you got to hope that the relationship is strong, but sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it doesn't work out. And social media is not, it's not the root cause per se, but the added attention definitely will test the bond in a relationship. And so Meg or Cardi or any number of artists who are dating athletes or entertainers, you got to understand that some stuff is going to come with the territory. But if they're just dating some regular guy, right? Just a regular citizen, I think that is probably a better idea. But, what do I know? Right? I'm a relationship expert in other people's relationships, never my own. So, you have that. Definitely, I want you to follow me on all social media at The Diamond K Show. Of course, subscribe youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. Make sure you stay connected on all platforms. Now, a quick sports run. The NFL draft recently happened. Some teams made some strong moves. Others, questionable. We're going to see how it all plays out. How well did your team do in the draft? I think that the Ravens, they did, a serviceable job. It's still early. So you have the draft. You still have folks that are going to get cut. You still got a lot of things that are going to happen before preseason. But I am interested and I'm excited for football season that is fast approaching. Now, NBA playoffs heating up. And when the playoffs are here, I really know that football season is fast approaching. This is when the stars really start to separate themselves. There was all this talk about LeBron James and the Lakers wanting to boot him up out of there and him having to take less money and go to another team for his final run. And then you have some Lakers stars, they're supposed to be futures. You have them get injured, right? These are players in their prime. LeBron James is 41 years old. He's healthy. And you got the players that are in their prime that the Lakers are banking on. You got them injured. And you got LeBron James sitting back, holding the reins, controlling things. If things had gone the way the Lakers wanted, LeBron James wouldn't even have been there. LeBron James has single-handedly saved the Lakers from immediate elimination because they were going to get routed up out of there. At least that's what folks thought. Now, the Lakers performing very well in the playoffs. Now, are they going to make it to the end? Are they going to get to the finals? I don't know. So it's been some interesting things happening as far as the NBA playoffs round one. Currently, you have the Knicks leading 3-2 in their series. What's interesting about this is that the Knicks should have had the Hawks up out of there, but it is not the case. But we're going to see how that goes. As far as the Celtics and the Sixers, the Celtics are leading that series 3-2. We're going to see how that plays out. As far as the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, that is, it's been interesting. I'll say that. Timberwolves leading that series 3-2. As far as the Rockets and the Lakers, they've been up 3-1, and now it is 3-2. I was hoping that they were going to close that out yesterday, but it did not happen. Some other games to watch out for: Raptors and the Cavaliers. Cleveland leads that series 3-2. And lastly, the Pistons and Magic, Orlando leading 3-2 on that. So I don't know. I don't know where this goes. I am definitely not going to be betting on that, but I'm excited. And playoff time is when I really start paying attention to the NBA. I can't even lie. Chrisean Rock, Baltimore's own, stepped into the boxing ring, and she was victorious, beat down the girl. I don't know whether this is sports, whether this is entertainment. Celebrity boxing it's really becoming its own lane. But either way, people are watching, people are paying attention. So we have a new segment called the Video of the Day, where I recommend music video. And today's video of the day is Lotto featuring Glorilla, GOMF. It's a high energy track, heavy bass, club ready production. This is one of those records designed to move the crowd and dominate playlists. So I want you to check that out. Chemistry between both artists is strong, and the production hits exactly where it needs to. You can check that video out right now. Link is in the description. And, stream the song. It is Lotto featuring Glorilla, GOMF. I definitely like that, and I'm going to be playing that in parties this summer. It's going to be one of those records. Of course, that is today's show. Make sure you subscribe, follow, tap in the Diamond K Show. Weekdays, 6 p.m. This is where news meets culture. My name is Diamond K. I'm going to see you guys next time.
Diamond K in the house. Oh my goodness.